Hey guys, Vadim Elkin here, and today I want to talk about my Panasonic GH4 and the top 5 problems I have with that camera that I hope will be addressed in the Panasonic GH5 model, which was just recently announced at CES and is coming out in a few months. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my Panasonic GH4. I've been using it almost daily since it came out. It's a real workhorse of a camera. I've been using it for documentaries, for corporate, commercial video production, music videos, you name it. It has performed extremely well. So these 5 problems I'm going to talk about are not really deal breakers, they're not huge major issues, but they are something that I hope Panasonic will improve upon in the GH5. Number 1, focus assist. Panasonic GH4 has some really good focus assist functions such as peaking and a one-to-one punch-in. Unfortunately, the focus peaking is not always 100% accurate, especially when you're shooting in 4K with wider lenses. It's really difficult to tell if your image is really in focus just by looking at the focus peaking on the screen. So what I like to do in those situations is use one-to-one punch-in, where you can really zoom in into your image and see if it's in focus or not. Unfortunately, this function does not work while you're recording. So as soon as you hit the record button, the image just zooms out again to your actual frame. Now, the problem with that, if you're filming something like a corporate conference or performing arts event where you want to check your focus during recording, you're unable to do that without stopping the recording. And obviously, it would be less than ideal in those types of shooting scenarios. So I hope it's something Panasonic can fix with either a firmware update, or it's something that GH5 will be able to do right out of the box. Number 2, the 2x digital Tele extender function. One of the great features of the Panasonic GH4 is that when you're shooting in the 1080p mode, you have the ability to digitally crop the image 2 times without losing any quality. So I don't always shoot in 4K, and when I'm shooting in 1080, sometimes it's great to have that extra reach. Unfortunately, again, this function cannot be used while you're recording. So if you're shooting an event where you just need to roll straight through and you can't just stop the recording in the middle, it would be great to have the function where you can digitally punch in without interrupting the recording, which Panasonic GH4 currently cannot do. Number 3, continuous autofocus in video mode. Panasonic has a really great autofocus when it comes to still images. And for video, as long as you're using one push autofocus, it works really great. But when you're trying to do continuous focus with face tracking or anything like that, it's not quite as accurate as it could be. It's definitely not on par with something like Canon's phase detect autofocus. Number 4, color science. Now, I know this is a little bit more subjective than some of the other problems I've been talking about, and when I switched to the Panasonic GH4 after using Canon for many years, I noticed that the color science wasn't really quite as good as Canon's was. And again, it's subjective, it's not something that you can really describe, but it's just something you know when you see it. The colors just don't quite pop as much as they do in the Canon cameras. So again, I hope that Panasonic will address this with the GH5. And finally, number 5, the position of the headphone jack. One of the major annoyances with the Panasonic GH4 is the way the headphone jack interferes with the function of the LCD screen. When you have your headphones plugged in for monitoring audio and you want to flip out your LCD screen and tilt it down to be able to see, you're unable to do that because the headphone jack interferes with that. Again, not a huge deal, but it's kind of annoying from the usability and the design standpoint. And unfortunately, from what I've seen so far, it looks like the Panasonic GH5 will have the same or very similar body design to the GH4. So it doesn't look like this particular issue will be addressed, but we'll see. So these were some of the problems that I have with the Panasonic GH4 that I hope will be addressed on the GH5 when it comes out. If you're also a GH4 user and you're looking forward to the GH5 as much as I am, let me know your thoughts. What are some of the features that you're looking forward to the most? Feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like this kind of content and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe.